to Western wear, boots, and saddlery, Nelson Royals has it all. Mention WSIC and get 15% off your purchase. Visit Nelson Royals on Highway 150 in Mooresville or shop online at nelsonroyals.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
All right, good morning. Welcome to Heart Mooresville on WSIC. I'm your host, Don Smyle, along with, Christine Patterson.
Oh, Christine. Oh, my goodness.
But we have the greatest of fill-in co-hosts of Good Morning LKN. Mamie Lee is joining me.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thanks for joining us. And to your right is Gina Duckworth, Director of Mooresville Community Children's Theater. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I understand you're also a veteran of the radio platform, so
a little bit.
This is nothing new to you. Well, welcome. Thank you both for being here. Christine will be sliding in on two wheels shortly.
Christine and I both do that, really.
Yeah.
You're just lucky I was already here since I was here for the morning show.
I've gotten used to it. There's two things about Christine I know. One, she's going to come sliding in on two wheels.
Two wheels every time.
Whether it's here or our meeting or whatever. And two, she will always be eating something.
Oh, yes.
Always.
Okay, she and I have that in common as well. I think I'm the perfect fill-in. Like, we kind of run on the same schedule, eat the same diet, you know.
Well, given how busy she is, I mean, she constantly is moving. And so the fact that she's always eating doesn't surprise me because she doesn't gain weight because she's burning it all off.
She doesn't have time to slow down. She's just running and eating at the same time.
So if you're listening, Christine, we miss you. We'll see you shortly. So, well, I was listening as we were coming in to the little announcements in my headset about the weather coming up. And I have to say, I'm not a fan. It's going to be down in the 40s again for lows. I am a big, let's get to the spring. Let's just cut it off.
Keep it there.
Cut it off.
I know.
Right? Because one, plants. Two, I have weekend, activities. I like to go hiking, biking, something outside. And this weather is not conducive to that. So, I went to Jetton this weekend. Is it Jetton or Jeton?
It's actually Jeton.
I say Jeton.
Jeton. You say Jeton, right? Okay. The actual correct pronunciation, which is from Mayor Woody Washam, Mayor of Town of Cornelius, is Jeton. That's Jeton, T-U-N, even though it's spelled J-E-T-T-O-N. Now, the way you pronounce it, Don, this is a storied debate because when I first moved here, and I've told this story 100 times, when I very first moved here, I was calling it Jetton just like you because I'm from the South and it looks like Jetton and I say Jetton and boy, did people get mad at me about that one.
Grammatically, it's spelled Jetton.
Yes, grammatically it is spelled Jetton.
So
You're right, Gina.
I just feel like this is a debate of the uptown, downtown thing. It's like Jetton or Jeton.
Like uptown versus downtown Charlotte?
It's
like
the
uptown.
pronunciation of it. All that aside, first time I've been there.
Oh, okay.
Loved it.
Gorgeous park.
So beautiful. What do you enjoy about it?
Oh, just having that lake access there, but we were talking right before the show. I do love Jeton Park, but I love Ramsey Creek too. But that's what we're blessed with here in this area, right? The hundreds of parks that we have within the Lake Norman area. Mooresville has 17 on its own. Lake Norman State Park's another great one in Iredell County. And then also having, the Cornelius Parks and Recs, we've had them on Good Morning LKN before too, but just the access to the parks, but the walking trails on Jeton, because you're a hiker, right? So did you, they go on and on and on.
Well, I will say that I am, it's so funny because I see this on social media. I'm one of those people that to go a mile takes me like 3 hours. And the reason is
you're stopping and
I'm
looking,
stopping
smelling the roses,
taking pictures of and video of everything.
Yeah.
Because I love to create video for my Instagram account. And so I've got my GoPro, long stick, and I'm out there doing this, and people are looking at this thing like it's some kind of weapon. I'm like, no, there's a video camera on the end of it. You're safe.
We're having fun with it.
Yeah.
The great thing about living here too is you have all that access. I don't know. Kind of nice, and then you go to new ones.
You get to discover new things all the time, right? I still have not been to all 17 parks in Mooresville. Now that you guys are doing the egg drop, I may. Have you heard about this one, Gina?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Don, fill her in on that one.
Yeah. So we had our first egg drop this week. The third annual Egg Quest is taking place. First drop was Saturday. The next drop will be this Saturday. We have a total of 260 eggs, I think, this year. And the idea is to, as Mamie said, we placed eggs in all 17 parks, and it's an opportunity for parents to take their kids out to the park early in the morning and go look for these golden eggs. And inside the egg is a voucher. Everybody wins something, and then there are 2 grand prizes this year. And
Good
so,
idea.
yes.
Cash money, grand prizes.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
So
different too than just like, with your kids, when they were younger, and you'd go to one of those Easter egg hunts, and there's 100 kids out there, and they're all fighting for
It's
eggs.
survival of the
It
fittest,
is survival
It
of the
is.
fittest,
It is.
definitely.
And that's usually driven by the parents,
Right.
unfortunately, right?
Right. So this is a way to do more leisurely, or if you
Right.
have someone who's special needs or
Right.
sensory or something like that. So Christine and I actually had lunch yesterday together at Rio 150 overlooking Liberty Park in downtown Mooresville.
Right.
And I was like, "You're telling me there's some golden eggs over there?" And I was like, "I'm about to hop this fence and go find something to pay for our lunch."
Yeah, I think they've probably all been found. So
Ah.
again, the first drop was Saturday. The next drop will be this coming Saturday. Again, all 17 parks. And we actually have a Facebook page, a dedicated Facebook page for Egg Quest. So you can go there and it'll tell you how many eggs are in each park. And
Nice.
so that way if you go look and you don't find one, you can go to another park. And unfortunately, there are probably more people than there are eggs, but the idea is it's supposed to be fun. So you're supposed to go out with your kids. And generally what's happened now is people are arriving like at dawn, right?
When the eggs drop,
Yeah, and
they're
and
waiting for the chickens or the
yeah.
ducks or the bunnies, whoever lays those golden eggs.
And
Yeah.
so, but it's really amazing to see the faces of the children, because one of the things that we ask people to do is if they find one, take a picture and then
Mhm.
share it on our socials. And we post those photos. And so, you can see how happy the kids are to find this thing, right? And so it's fun. And this was all initiated by our former director, Pam Reedy, who, as you mentioned, was not a fan of the, free-for-all that egg drops generally were.
Right.
And wanted to find a way to really make it something that was special and unique and fun for the family, but also to get people out into the parks to maybe explore parks they weren't aware of.
Yeah, it's a terrific idea.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
love
a great
that.
idea to try.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a park that maybe you'd never been to before,
Right.
or maybe you didn't even know there were 17 parks in Mooresville. But the accessibility that we have to all of this beautiful nature space,
Mhm.
the parks, the playgrounds, and all of Lake Norman, and just getting to explore those. I think that's great. First time you'd ever been to Jetton.
Jetton. I'm just going to call it the J.
You call it whatever you want to call
the
it.
J.
Yeah.
But speaking of the J, I had a great time. It's really pretty out there. But again, it took me a couple hours to go the 1
whole
mile
loop,
loop
yeah.
because I was stopping so much. But that's what I enjoy. My wife bought me an app for Christmas called All Trails. All Trails. And it literally is all trails. And it will show you all the local trails. It'll show you regional trails. Anywhere you want to be in the United States, it'll show you the trails. And you can preview the trails. You can categorize them by easy, moderate, hard, views, whether they're dog friendly, whether there's easy parking. And then when you go on the trail, if you open the app, it'll follow you and literally in real time. So, if you're on a trail that maybe isn't as well marked as some, you're like, am I in the right place? And it'll tell you, oh yeah, you need to go
Oh,
this
that's
way.
very cool.
So I've been using that. And at the end, you can capture your activity and then post it on your socials. And it shows elevation and distance walked and all that wonderful stuff. So
Very cool.
it's a lot of fun.
You share that even with your family,
Yes.
so everybody's on the same app together. I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So, but yeah,
You're gonna get fancy soon, Don. Though you're gonna be doing the, drawing pictures and stuff with your map.
Oh, you think?
You're hiking, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, again, super excited to have Gina Duckworth, director of Mooresville Community Children's Theater, with us, and Mamie Lee sitting in place of our esteemed co-host, Christine Patterson. Great to have you both here. And we will come back to Heart Mooresville after this short break.
There's more Heart Mooresville on the way from 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after some morning clouds, more sunshine back for our Tuesday afternoon, although it's a cooler and windy day of weather. High temperatures only around 70, that wind gusting up around 30 miles an hour at times. Really going to be blowing that pollen around and also creates a high fire danger for our Tuesday around Lake Norman. Overnight low temperatures get chilly, falling back into the mid-40s. For your Wednesday, less wind day, but still on the cooler side around 70. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like iCats Public Transit.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. 3 days of live music kick off on Thursday at Bin 110 in Cornelius. Ryan Winters opens up the performances on Thursday. Simple Soul takes the stage on Friday, while Hey Ladies will get you moving on Saturday. Bin 110 welcomes great local musicians Thursday through Saturday. The 500 Club in Statesville is having Easter brunch this Sunday afternoon. Come celebrate the holiday with your friends and family and enjoy the club's delicious food with first-class service. Call 704-872-9990 or visit the 500 Club online for more details on Easter brunch. The Spring Gospel Music Fest will be at Alexander Central High School Auditorium in Taylorsville on April 24th. Gold City and Sabbath Quartet are the featured performers with showtime scheduled for 6:30 p.m. For more information, call 828-383-5176. Enjoy the Spring Gospel Music Fest in Taylorsville on Thursday, April 24th. The NHRA returns to ZMAX Dragway on April 25th through the 27th with the annual 4-Wide Nationals. See 40,000 horsepower at one time when drag racing's finest stars line up to compete 4-wide. Every ticket is a pit pass, so come early to see your favorite drivers and cars up close before they race at over 300 miles per hour. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for tickets and more information about the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals on April 25th through the 27th. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
MuralFest 2025, presented by Window World, returns April 24th through the 27th in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Hear the Avett Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, The Dead South, Watch House, Wyatt Floors, I'm With Her, Leftover Salmon, The Warren Treaty, The Steel Drivers, and many more. For tickets, visit MuralFest.org.
Call now to speak with iHeart Mooresville hosts Christine Patterson and Don Smyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's iHeart Mooresville on WSIC.
All right, welcome back to iHeart Mooresville here on WSIC. I'm your co-host, Don Smyle. And I just received a text, ladies and gentlemen, from Christine Patterson. She's going to be here any minute.
All right.
So
we're waiting with bated breath for you, Christine
your
Patterson.
arrival, Christine. All
Yes.
right. So, whoa.
The guru of fun for the
Yes.
town of Mooresville.
But we are super excited to have Gina Duckworth, Director of Mooresville Community Children's Theater, with us, and Mamie Lee, who co-hosts Good Morning Lake Norman. Ladies, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Parks and Rec world because, as we mentioned, spring, summer's coming, lots of fun things to do. You keep elaborating on how many parks we have. And I think one of the things I constantly tell people is please, please, please go to mooresvillerecreation.org to learn about Parks and Recreation. Familiarize yourself with it because there is no way that I can tell you the hundreds of moving parts that we have every week. We have 6 divisions. We have 70 or 80 full-time employees, 150 counting all the part-time people. We have so much going on. We have 4 multi-purpose recreational facilities, 17 parks, hundreds of programs. There's just a lot going on in the world of Parks and Rec. And you are lucky, Mooresville, to have so many opportunities to go out and explore. And what's your favorite park in Mooresville?
Oh, gosh, Liberty Park.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Why?
definitely Liberty. Well, I don't have little kids anymore.
Okay.
And so I think if I did, then it'd probably be based on the playground. That's kind of what I would probably base because wherever the kids can go and just exhaust themselves. But I love Liberty Park because I can eat at one of those restaurants right there at Mill One and kind of enjoy what's going on in the parks or the great concerts that you guys do there. And all the events that kind of happen there. I feel like there's just kind of where I gravitate towards whenever I am in downtown Mooresville.
What about you?
It's a hidden gem. I mean,
I think it is a surprise when you go back there and you're like, I didn't know all this was back here.
Well, people who live in Mooresville don't even realize there's so much going on in downtown Mooresville.
Right.
Because, there's different sides of Mooresville. But I would say I like Jeton Park. But it's not really Mooresville.
No, that's Cornelius. But hey,
but I grew up,
they're all good.
Well, my kids grew up going to Jeton Park because of the playgrounds. But Liberty Park is this. It's just kind of taken its turn to where I think it's going to be everybody's fan favorite soon.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
Even with the kids, but for adults especially, I think it's
Well, I think from a multi-purpose perspective, I really enjoy Mazeppa just because it's so wide open and there's 7 miles of bike trails. There's a playground area, there's a baseball complex, there's a soccer / multi-purpose field complex. It's just a very big place.
Well, and I know Mazeppa when they first, like my son played baseball there.
Right.
I didn't even know it existed. Like we'd just moved to Mooresville from Huntersville, and I just remember not being able to find it.
Yeah.
And now that so much is built up around it, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a
big,
real
big
good
fan
one.
of that. So, well, I wanted to tell you about some of the things going on in the world of Parks and Recreation because, as I mentioned, we have an amazing staff that's constantly creating new programs and opportunities for people in the community to enjoy. I wanted to spotlight a couple of them. One is called Little Hands, Tiny Feet. And so it's an opportunity to spend time with your child while creating one-of-a-kind experiences. So it's a 30-minute class that encourages creativity through theme-based activities, including drawing, painting, coloring, and crafting. It's really just an opportunity to hang out and, scribble, let your kid just have a little bit of fun.
Have a good time.
Have a little bit of fun.
Definitely.
And this happens at the War Memorial Recreation Center Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays is 1 to 1:30. Wednesdays is 10:30 to 11. So, again, go to mooresvillerecreation.org or you can call the center directly to learn more. We also have something called Empowering Abilities, and it's designed to support individuals with intellectual or physical disabilities with higher needs in a productive and diverse environment. So we focus on life skills, community and recreational interactions, self-advocacy, and interpersonal skills. And again, this is a great opportunity in our community. And a big shout out to Dr. Lynn Hegedus, who runs the programs over at War Memorial. And again, this is at the War Memorial Recreation Center. Time is 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you can, again, log on to mooresvillerecreation.org or call the War Memorial Center to learn more. Keeping in the art theme, we have something called Art Open Studio. And so if your child likes to explore their creative side, this is their opportunity. It's a variety of supplies available for young artists to experiment with different types of media, including watercolors, pencil drawings, acrylic paintings, and more. So ages 7 to 18. And our award-winning in-house artist, Maria Campagna, is the host of this program. So grab your sketchbooks, art pencils, and head over to the Selma Burke Recreation Center, first Thursday of each month, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So a lot of opportunities for children of all ages to participate. And we also have a resident super interesting person, Jackie. Jackie is our nature guide, and she has led an interesting life. I can't even tell you all the fun things that she does, and she's a big reptile lover. So anytime I see her, she's got a snake or something.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, so we have something called Nature Fest, and it's an opportunity to explore the outdoors. So the town of Mooresville, check out some of the conservation, nature, and wildlife organizations such as the town of Mooresville Stormwater, the Environmental Protection Community, Soil and Water Mecklenburg Audubon. This happens at Bellingham Park on April 26th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's a nature fest. All of these people will be there, and it's a great opportunity for you to come out and learn about all the ways in which we are protecting and enhancing nature. And again, it's free. So that's the best part.
I think that's the best part about all that downtown Mooresville does, or all the town, not just downtown, but all that the town of Mooresville does. So much of it is just free. Right. And so just having the access to all these events, and for kids to come up or parents to go up and see how much does it cost, and you're like, no, it's free. Like, it's completely free. And so just having the accessibility to that for families in this area, we all know that things cost a lot of money. Everything costs a lot of money. Take your family out to eat is expensive.
Yes.
Take them to a theme park for a day is expensive. So just having all these fun little activities that we have in the town, in all the towns, but especially for town of Mooresville, is just really, really special.
Yeah, and given that spring break is here, and you need something for your children.
Is it Iredale's spring break this week?
I don't know. I
Town
don't have kids.
Mooresville, I know.
I think it's Mecklenburg.
It is.
Okay.
I know it's
All right.
Mecklenburg, but yeah, I think they all have different ones
They
too. And then with all
do.
the charter schools and everything, we never know.
It's just hard to get it all
Between
together.
March and April, somebody's out of school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the whole idea is, as you said, get outside and enjoy, and
Yes.
and learn more about all the free opportunities. Now, some of these obviously have a minimal cost for residents, but a lot of them are free. And it's a great opportunity to get out and just explore the community. And we're super proud of what Mooresville Parks and Recreation does. The town of Mooresville does an amazing job supporting our efforts in the Parks and Recreation Department. And so we're very blessed as a community to have that opportunity. As I've said many times on the show, I live in Harrisburg, but I do enjoy going to the parks in Mooresville. Because,
just get to, and that's the other part of it too. You don't have to be a resident there to enjoy all the things that Mooresville offers, whether it's the events like the music events that you guys host, the festivals that you host,
the food trucks.
The food
we
trucks.
were just there last Friday.
Yes,
you get to see everybody. It just gets out of the house.
It gets you out of the house. It gives you something to do because I live here in Cornelius, and so but I have no problem taking a little drive up to Mooresville for all the great events that you guys host. So.
Yeah, that big shout out to Christine. If she was here, I would say to her as well. Her and her team have done an amazing job creating some of these downtown events, and a lot of this grew out of the 150 celebration.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these events didn't exist, and we were looking for ways to have community-based events to celebrate the 150. And so the B3 Festival at Liberty Park and
the classic Christmas.
The classic Christmas
just sort of exploded.
It snowed in downtown Mooresville while I'm in just like sweatshirt and leggings. I'm not even
little snow globes.
Yes, I'm not even dressed for snow. I was like, this is the kind of snow I can deal with. Really, that's the North Carolina snow we need.
Yeah, and I
no bread or milk required.
Yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to Christine Patterson, who has entered the studio.
Here. I'm here.
She did it.
Baby's here. Look at this.
I was trying to fill in for you, but I am a poor substitution for the Christine Patterson.
No, they're going to like you better, Mamie. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Glad to be here and glad to be able to sit next to my friend, Gina Duckworth.
Yes.
Just thrilled. And you can poach her anytime from our Good Morning Show.
Thank you.
You're welcome to have her
anytime. We were getting jealous, She's like on Good Morning Lake Norman, and we hadn't had her on the Mooresville show yet. We had to get her down here.
Yes. Thrilled to have her here with us, too.
Well, I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you.
Yeah. So, Gina, I've known, I guess, about like 6 years now.
Yeah, probably.
So, the Charles Mack Citizen Center is obviously part of our, wheelhouse of what we cover and experience and engagement. And one of our venues, the Charles Mack Citizen Center, is the home of the Mooresville Community Children's Theater. Mm-hmm. And so we get the honor of hearing them practice and rehearse sing, and it just fills the halls with their joyful melodies all the time. So, no, we love hearing it. We love getting to be a part of it. And so I thought that Gina would be a great guest to talk about all the shows that they have coming up. So I guess, have you already...
No.
We're waiting on you. We're waiting on you for this one.
Yes.
Yeah, we're waiting on you.
So I wanted to give Gina an opportunity first to just kind of tell everybody about the Mooresville Community Children's Theater and what it does.
Well, we do a lot of shows, but I stepped in probably just I was just coming on as a board of director parent is the only reason I even put my toes in this. But I guess in 2013, the Children's Theater kind of just reignited itself. I can't take credit for that, but Lisa Altieri could. She was on the board then, and it just sort of took off again. And the timing for that was just really great. A lot of kids moving to the area and getting involved, and theater become a cool thing again. I think the high schools were starting to do it more, and so I just 2014 came in as a board member, and next thing you know, I'm helping backstage, choreographing a show. My daughter at the time was in it, and here I am.
Yeah,
I was just going to do it for 3 years.
Only 3 years.
That was my commitment. I'm going to do it for 3
11
years.
years later, 10 years later, you're still doing it. Yeah.
Well, we're going to hear all about the shows that you guys have been doing, and also your scholarship. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Clayton Miller Scholarship. Mm-hmm. So when we come back from a break, we'll be right back with Heart Mooresville.
As local as Mooresville. Christine Patterson and Don Smyle host Heart Mooresville on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, after some morning clouds, more sunshine back for our Tuesday afternoon, although it's a cooler and windy day of weather. High temperatures only around 70, that wind gusting up around 30 miles an hour at times. Really going to be blowing that pollen around, and also creates a high fire danger for our Tuesday around Lake Norman. Overnight low temperatures get chilly, falling back into the mid-40s. For your Wednesday, less wind day, but still on the cooler side, around 70. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
With 5 area locations, Desco is your go-to resource for electrical supplies. Albemarle, Mooresville, Salisbury, Statesville, and Lexington. No matter where the job takes you, you're sure to be close to a Desco. Shop now at DescoInc.com.
Yeehaw for rodeo season at Harrison's, the home of work, western, and wow. Whether you compete or cheer from the stands, Harrison has the looks to help you wow the crowd. Get western classics and the latest styles from Ariat, Cinch, Rock and Roll Denim, and Wrangler. Find us in Mooresville.
Is your yard ready for a refresh? Drum Landscape Supply has over 10 types of mulch, beautiful boulders, decorative gravel, and a unique plant nursery bursting with shrubs, trees, and perennials. Call today for up to 70% off pavers and stone. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com today.
Exciting news at Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville. We have opened a separate used car department. That's right, we have over 300 pre-owned vehicles on Folger Drive. That's right across the interstate from the main lot. I tell you, better to serve you with higher quality, higher quantity, king of price deals on pre-owned vehicle. Come see us today at our new location, 1011 Folger Drive, right across the interstate from the main showroom. You can't miss us. And as always, king of price, king of deals, you can't beat Randy Marion in Statesville.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy, to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks. Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Caregiving can be overwhelming, but fear not. Equity Health Primary Care is here to help. They specialize in personalized care for your loved ones. In clinic, at home, or virtually, they provide support, understanding, and resources to make the journey a little easier. Visit equityhealthcares.com.
This is a true, sad story for ADT, the leader in home security systems. My favorite dog, Oliver, was stolen from our garage recently. If I had a camera system installed in my home from ADT, I would have known exactly what car possibly pulled up in my driveway and stole my little friend. If I had a security system from ADT, my dog would still be here. I called ADT this weekend, and they're coming out in a few days to install a camera and a new security system. Unfortunately, it's a little too late for me. Listen, protect everyone you love in your family. Call ADT now. Have them come out and give you a quote to install a full security system in your home. Don't let it be too late for you. Call right now.
Paid for by the Home Security Hotline. 800-430-4602. 800-430-4602. 800-430-4602. That's 800-430-4602.
But one objective.
Honey, can you turn that down?
Ladies.
Honey, can you turn it down?
Ever feel like your house is shaking every time your husband watches TV?
What?
Honey, can you turn it down?
That's not surround sound. That's hearing loss. Beltone in Mooresville and Cornelius can help. With expert hearing tests and top quality hearing aids, you can finally enjoy your TV without shaking the whole neighborhood. Visit nchearing.com to schedule your free hearing test today. That's nchearing.com.
Number one for talk in Lake Norman, Statesville.
105.9, 100.7, WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. After a year plagued by in-flight mishaps, forced groundings, and airlines canceling orders, Boeing was hoping for clearer skies this year. But it's facing new headwinds now. It's getting caught up in the U.S.-China trade war as Beijing orders Chinese-run airlines to begin rejecting delivery of Boeing planes. Shares are falling 2%. China's latest trade war escalation also covers a ban on U.S.-made equipment and parts for the Chinese airline business, and that's competing against several strong earnings reports today for Wall Street's attention. So far, the market has been up, quickly down, just as quickly back up, then mixed. Right now, back up a little. Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500 each gaining about 0.1%. Echoing recent news from J.P. Morgan Chase, today Bank of America says all the recent market turmoil has been great for its own business, as record orders handled by its stock traders lifted the bank's overall earnings. Bank of America shares are gaining 3%. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
It ain't easy being number one, but we make it look good.
WSIC.
Looking good, Mooresville. I mean, you're sitting at that traffic light too. Might as well be looking at something. Heart Mooresville continues now on WSIC.
And welcome back to I Heart Mooresville, your small town radio show with a big heart. I'm your host, Christine Patterson, and we're talking with Gina Duckworth of the Mooresville Community Children's Theater. So she explained a little bit how she got involved, only planned on being there for 3 years while her child was a part of the program, and has stayed for, how many years has it been now?
Well, 11 seasons.
So 11 years. So
yeah.
little bit longer than you planned.
Yeah.
But Gina is
It's hard
very
to let go.
modest because she is literally a children's theater guru and is really the heart of the children's theater. I mean,
Really sweet. I have a really big team, though. I mean, a great team.
you have great parents.
Yes.
You have a great board.
Yes.
Yes, you do. But definitely don't downplay the amount of work and effort that you put into that, because you do an amazing job. And, without you and your team, there would be no children's theater. And so we appreciate everything that you do to make these experiences. So I do want to talk a little bit for people that aren't familiar with the children's theater, what you guys do, because you guys put on some pretty amazing shows, and they don't feel like children's theater level shows.
No, we kind of, it's what's funny is we start out little shows a little bit like the last one we wrapped up was A Year with Frog and Toad. And I sat with my co-director. I actually directed that one with Lucas DeVore, and I sat and, we're just going to make it small. We're going to do just a little thing just to see how we can do. It just doesn't end up that way. We end up with giant sets and beautiful costumes and a cast of 40 kids, so it ends up just, I don't think we know how to do it small anymore.
No, you can't
This sounds like a reality show waiting to happen.
It definitely
really
could
does.
be.
Oh, you could.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Actually.
We definitely could do that. Yeah.
We need a reality
with the
show.
parents too.
Yeah.
The parents, the kids
Yeah.
making costumes.
There's moments we get out in our parking lot going, oh, if only people knew.
Yeah. What it took to
only
put this
people knew
together.
this day.
So would it be more like the Kardashians or like Dance Moms? Where do you land?
Somewhere in
Might,
between,
it
probably.
might depend on the temperature of the afternoon. Yes. Where we are. Is it Tech Week?
I was gonna say between Tech Week and striking the set at the end. it could go
my
anywhere.
right-hand man, Cadence, right-hand girl.
Right-hand girl, yeah. Cadence.
Who's kind of grown up with us and ends up being stage manager or production assistant, just jack of all trades. She ended up buying me a mug last year that said, I apologize for what I said during Tech Week.
I love that.
And I usually carry it.
If they can do a reality show about beauty pageants, they can do one about children's theater.
Yes,
I'm just
local
saying.
theater. We definitely
Yes.
do one.
I
It's
love
pretty
that.
interesting
Yeah.
because
We have
I
to
think
pitch
people
it.
have no idea.
Yeah.
I think they have no idea till they're riding alongside of us and they're,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Christine learned it firsthand that way.
Yeah, Gina on event week, on performance week, it's putting out fires and just trying to find solutions for everything. It's like an event coordinator.
It's coordinated,
that
but also
way.
with children.
Yes.
you just add those in too.
Right, with children.
Yes.
So you did recently Clue and Frog and Toad.
Yes, those were our two winter shows that kind of kicked off this season. We decided, even though we used to always open with our July show and just kind of hit about six slots. And this year we just look a little different. We lost our rehearsal space, so we're back over at the Charles Mack even for rehearsals. So just to kind of give everybody a breather and let us reintroduce ourselves and find out, for the employees and for the town and for everything, just kind of slide ourselves back into the calendar. We decided to scale it back a little bit. But they were great. They were great shows. We did our senior show, Clue, which was a straight play, non-musical. That's what it means for
So funny
for
too.
layman's.
Great.
It was
so
a great
funny.
one.
They did a great job.
And
Those
who
kids.
knew that these kids had such comedic timing?
And
They
like
could all go on SNL.
Physical comedy
Yes.
too. Yeah, it was
Yes.
really impressive.
They were great. And then it kind of led right on top of each other. It kind of worked out well for us. Our junior musical was A Year with Frog and Toad based on the children's books. And those ages were from ages 6 to 14.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you have a show coming up, Tarzan.
Yes, we have not auditioned for it yet, but that'll be our big show. We're actually going to do it at Mooresville High's Performing Arts Space or Performing Arts Center. And hopefully it'll be a big one. We've teamed up with the Reinhardt family and their aerial concepts business so we can fly kids.
Kids will be flying?
They're going to be flying.
Wow.
Oh
That's gonna be
my
wild. And
gosh.
this
Which is new for us. We've never done that
Yes.
before. So we've got some kids who are already fly certified. We'll have some college kids come in to work on the flies. And
That's amazing. I
yeah.
think I saw on your Facebook page where you all were like practicing or went to somewhere.
I have visited them. They're actually going to meet this week with us and show us, where everything will be. So yeah,
Nice.
we've kind of tiptoed into it.
Well, I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
wait
excited.
to see that.
And that one's going to be all ages too, right?
It is. So with a show as big as Tarzan, we don't really have to split it up with the ages. There's certain shows that allow for that, like Beauty and the Beast and Wizard of Oz, where you can put all of them together. And the space is a lot bigger, so we're able to accommodate with the kids as well. But yeah, my daughter's directing it. She's coming in for a few weeks this summer and thought, oh, I'll do it. It just kind of slipped right into our schedule.
Very cool.
And Lucas DeVore's coming back to help musically direct it, along with Melanie Calkin, who's the musical director at Mooresville High School, because there's going to be a lot.
I'm
So we'll all
telling
have
you,
to divide and
there's gonna
conquer.
be a
all
lot.
the elements are here for a reality show. I'm serious. You've got
See what we can do.
parents,
Yep,
right?
yep.
You've got really involved parents. You've got young children feeling their way through things. You've got a mother-daughter team directing.
Which is a first for us.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
that's
get
going to be an
directed
adventure in
together.
itself, right?
Definitely the Kardashians.
Well, if anybody could get that reality show together, I bet Christine Patterson could put that one
we
together
got to
too.
pitch that one.
Yeah, we'll
pitch it to
figure
Hulu. Well, so I do want to talk a little bit about, because you said your daughter was coming back, and that is how you kind of ended up in the children's theater. So I think that's important. I want to talk a little bit about kind of that parent experience. Obviously, people that are involved with this program stay. The majority of your board is made up of.
Yeah, so we've had this group of board members, since about the exact same people since about 2015, 2016.
And obviously, I think that's a testament to what you all do and the experience that people have in this program, that, even after they have children age out, they still want to be involved. They
Yeah,
still
I
wanna
don't think
help.
there's anyone on our board anymore that
has a kid who's actually performing in the show. Yeah, they're all in college. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
amazing.
college, which they come back for college.
Right, like my daughter is in college, but she'll come back
opportunities.
this summer
Yeah.
and either do tech or she'll do something else with it as well.
So, well, Mamie, so since you are a
I
parent.
am a parent of Mooresville.
So
Children's
what is
Theater.
it about it? Why?
I'm just gonna say, for Katie specifically, my daughter Katie loved theater. She still loves theater. It's not past tense. She loves theater. She loved performing. She went to a performing arts school in Charlotte, Northwest School of the Arts. Great school. But she was just not getting cast in anything but background. She didn't have the opportunity to kind of do the hands-on stuff. She had a couple of shows. There were some shows she'd auditioned for too that she just wouldn't get in. And that's just the nature of what it was at that school. Great school, really good experience that she had there. She wanted the opportunity to be able to act on stage.
Yeah.
And so our neighbor basically came over, and we moved into the house, and he came over day one and he was like, hey, you like theater, you need to audition for Mooresville Children's Theater. So it was the first show coming out of COVID 2021. Also happened that my mother had passed away like literally 2 weeks earlier. And so I was just floundering for just how to keep life together.
Yeah.
And so it was a gift for both of us. It gave Katie something to do what she loved. It gave me the space to kind of sit back and get to see my daughter do something that I'll get emotional if I talk about it too much.
No, we
Get
love to
see-
create the home for it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It created
For
a home
everybody,
and
yeah.
friendships for her too.
Mhm.
And that was so special. The friendships that she made there are friendships that she still has. She's gone to college with some of these kids now, and continue to be friends
Yeah.
with them after that too.
That's amazing.
Once you're there, you're kind of stuck with
You
us. You end
are.
up with all these little aunties that are going to put their arms around you.
Yes,
We
the
we'd
moms
never
too.
let-
The
Yeah.
moms text her. The moms send them gifts at college now, and all her stars still in the
See,
closet.
those stars.
The stars are still
and we're
in the
starting to see
closet.
that drip out into like high school shows now, where people have taken it. And it's like it's kind of
It's-
a neat
it's
little thing
very
to know we
special.
started.
Yeah, it's very special.
Oh, I love that. Well, we are going to take a break, but when we come back, there's lots more to talk about with Gina Duckworth at the Mooresville Community Children's Theater. We'll be back here on WSIC News with I Heart Mooresville.
We'll be right back with more I Heart Mooresville on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after some morning clouds, more sunshine back for our Tuesday afternoon, although it's a cooler and windy day of weather. High temperatures only around 70, that wind gusting up around 30 miles an hour at times. Really going to be blowing that pollen around, and also creates a high fire danger for our Tuesday around Lake Norman. Overnight low temperatures get chilly, falling back into the mid-40s. For your Wednesday, less wind day, but still on the cooler side, around 70. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. 3 days of live music kick off on Thursday at Bin 110 in Cornelius. Ryan Winters opens up the performances on Thursday. Simple Soul takes the stage on Friday, while Hey Ladies will get you moving on Saturday. Bin 110 welcomes great local musicians Thursday through Saturday. The 500 Club in Statesville is having Easter brunch this Sunday afternoon. Come celebrate the holiday with your friends and family and enjoy the club's delicious food with first-class service. Call 704-872-9990 or visit the 500 Club online for more details on Easter brunch. The Spring Gospel Music Fest will be at Alexander Central High School Auditorium in Taylorsville on April 24th. Gold City and Sabbath Quartet are the featured performers with showtime scheduled for 6:30 p.m. For more information, call 828-383-5176. Enjoy the Spring Gospel Music Fest in Taylorsville on Thursday, April 24th. The NHRA returns to ZMAX Dragway on April 25th through the 27th with the annual 4-Wide Nationals. See 40,000 horsepower at one time when drag racing's finest stars line up to compete 4-wide. Every ticket is a pit pass, so come early to see your favorite drivers and cars up close before they race at over 300 miles per hour. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for tickets and more information about the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals on April 25th through the 27th. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
MerleFest 2025, presented by Window World, returns April 24th through the 27th in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Hear the Avett Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, The Dead South, Watch House, Wyatt Floors, I'm With Her, Leftover Salmon, The Warren Treaty, The Steel Drivers, and many more. For tickets, visit merlefest.org.
All things Mooresville to keep you in the Noseville. Join in the conversation by calling 844-STUDIO-4. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to Heart Mooresville. We are talking with Gina Duckworth, Executive Director of the Mooresville Community Children's Theater. Talked about your shows, your upcoming Tarzan, where people will fly in Tarzan.
Yes.
Because you can't have Tarzan without flying.
I guess we could. It just wouldn't be as fun.
It's going to be more fun. Yeah.
Not
You don't do anything small, Gina, really. We
Yeah.
couldn't expect anything less.
No. But we were talking a little bit about, the parent experience and the child experience, student of, going through this program. And I think, it's important to point out that even if you don't want to be the star of the show, even if you don't want to, be the lead, there are experiences and opportunities for everyone. So tell us a little bit about that.
So even on our audition forums, we like to have kids come in during auditions that even just want to work backstage or just assist a costume, or there's a lot of moving parts backstage that no one really ever gets to see when you buy a ticket and sit in the show. So we always say, would you want to work tech? Would you, whatever. And we just want to meet you. We're not going to make you sing for us. We just want to meet you in person. But what's great about being a nonprofit and being connected with the town is that we can give community service hours. So when we've got kids wanting their Eagle Scouts badge or their Eagle Scout, am I saying that right? For Boy Scouts, their Eagle badge.
Sure.
Right
Boy
at the
Scout
end. Yeah.
badge, yeah.
Boy Scout or Girl Scouts or just stuff for school or for college applications. Your hours spent as volunteers go on community service, and we stamp them, we sign them. We've got a notary on our board that, so they're very official when you're sending in your letters of recommendation and things like that. So we prefer having students being trained. We've always said that. And my experience, if someone didn't hire me when I was 20 years old, I don't know that I'd be still doing this. So there's something about, I think I started out as the youngest person in theater backstage where I was from, now the oldest one back there,
Yeah.
So I just feel like if you don't throw a bone or get some of these kids that are just real team players, or you see a little spark.
Yeah.
I think Cadence is a great example of that.
She's
too.
an incredible example.
Cadence is a friend of Katie's. They did a couple of shows on stage together.
And both of them are very talented on stage as well.
On stage, yes, very talented on stage.
They just like that fit of stepping in and getting back in the booth and learning about the sound and if we don't start training these kids, then
How are they going to learn?
How are they going to learn, or
Right.
even want to know if they want to go into college or do it more
Right.
or work for it?
And I think production too is such a great skill. I mean, even Lucas DeVore is a success story. I mean, he's one of our 3 approved, light and sound
he was
people.
in 8th grade when we started working
Wow.
with him, which is so
Wow.
funny. And then
Yeah.
his sister's even younger than he is. But yeah, and he still is doing it. And he's also incredible on stage as well.
Yeah.
So I just think until you get that interest, I don't know. I just feel like I think if I had to be really honest, the very first time we had an all student run production, we were very nervous, but we thought, save so much money. They just want to learn. And then
Yeah.
it just became a thing where it was like, they're just as good.
Right.
Of course, they've got mentors. There's always someone overseeing it and teaching and willing to teach. Our costumers are great at that. She always has her hands full with 100 costumes sometimes per show. So when you've got someone that wants to learn about costuming, or they can sew, or they want to learn,
Right.
it's just been a great way to foster that
Yeah.
for kids that want to volunteer.
But that's what I love is that, it is student led and these,
Mhm.
kids are not just on stage acting, they're doing every piece of this production. And so
Yeah.
they're getting to learn. It's such a great experience for them to get to do that. And not a lot of organizations offer that
Well,
opportunity.
and I think what accidentally happens at the end of the show is you learn how to cohabitate with each other, whereas nowadays there's so much on our phones, there's laptops, social media, there's so much of that we're kind of a no phones group. We just don't have time for it. So the phones stay in the seats. We're back there, and they just kind of learn. Again, it was accidental. They just learn how to have respect for others, learn to listen, learn to work with maybe not your favorite person
Right.
at auditions, but they become friends, or you just learn how to have enough
Yeah.
respect to get
Life skills.
through it.
Yes,
Yes.
it gets you those real life skills
Yes.
as a kid.
And just manners and grace that you just don't always have when you're typing all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think one of the things that stuck with me is, I see this as kind of what's happening with the trades, meaning, trades are really important. And we're kind of getting back to the fact that people are realizing we need carpenters and we need plumbers and we need people. You can't just be a computer.
when we all had to
Right.
push the pause button during COVID,
Right.
I think we learned to appreciate those more than we ever did
Right.
Absolutely.
10 years prior.
Yeah.
And I equate that to my broadcasting career, because for every person that you see on camera, there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 people behind that are making all that happen, right? And so the same thing in theater, I'm sure. It's, that one 10, 15, 20 people on stage, 100 people backstage.
And I'll
Oh, yeah.
tell you, kids, the ones on stage get all the glory, but the ones behind are really the ones that are making the decisions.
They're making
So
the
if you
magic
wanna be the
happen back
boss,
there.
You need to be behind.
So
behind the
here's
scenes.
the title for the
For a reality
for
show.
reality
We got
show.
it. We got
Behind
it.
the curtain.
Behind the
All right.
curtain.
All right.
We
Pitch it.
almost did a whole class series on a weekly basis called Behind the Curtain, where it was just going to be tech, teaching tech.
Wow.
And we did learn the best way to teach it is just to bring them all in and just
Throw 'em
push
in.
them off the high dive. Yeah. Be like, okay, well, you're going to run the lights.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's
a great
a
way to
whole
learn.
audience here.
So if people want to get involved with the Children's Theater, because there's a couple ways that you can support them that we're going to talk about in a minute. But if people want to, just go to your website and learn more, where can they go?
They can go straight to our website. We're such a social media. Our website gets less attention now that social media is so prevalent. The TikTok, the Facebook, it's all the same. But anybody can reach out to me directly or us directly through a direct message. I feel like my phone number is pasted on everything, but it is on our website. You can
Okay.
direct messages on
And
the
that is
website.
MooresvilleChildren'sTheater.org.
MooresvilleChildren'sTheater.org. Very good.
MooresvilleChildren'sTheater.org. I know. I have it memorized. And then, of course, you can go to your socials, Mooresville Children's
Mhm.
Theater. So if people want to support the organization, even if they don't have a kid, whether you do or don't have, a student that's part of the program, do you accept donations? I know there's an event coming up that is going to support you. So I'm going to
Well,
let
we never turn down a donation.
Yeah.
But there are people that will just come in and want to sponsor costumes, or they just want to give to the Clayton Miller or sponsor a scholarship recipient, or
And what
things
is
like
the
that.
Clayton Miller Scholarship?
So about 2015, 2016, when we were really just at our peak and just adding shows and really just it was probably our biggest push. We've always charged when you sign up for us, it was like $100 participation fee, which basically covered the dry cleaning, the materials, all this, and the instruction that you get within those weeks. But we never turned down a child who couldn't pay for it. So we always scholarship them anyway. And a lot of times it would come from just out of the board members' pockets, who also donated instead of just worked. And we just created the scholarship with some of those extra donations that would happen during the show when we were finally able to start selling concessions. That didn't happen till 2016, 2015. So we had this concession influx. We had this cash flow. So we just thought, let's be smart with it. And we started the scholarship program, which has also just kind of taken off. I mean, we now do something called the Clayton Miller Players. We've had 2 shows that just fundraises for the Clayton Miller, and it sets it all by itself, where we can give to the college scholarships. We give it to the littles that just, have, or the families that have 4 and 5 kids
that just want to be
a part of it. Yeah. Instead of just that, they pay what they can, and then we fix, we come up with the rest. We've always been able to do that.
I love that you all do that. So everyone that wants to participate can. And then there's an event coming up.
There is an event coming up. And Christine and I are on the planning committee for this, along with some other fantastic women. But we have Lake Norman Woman of the Year coming up in September, and Mooresville Children's Theater, along with Ferris Parenting, is one of our recipients. And for me,
grateful.
I'm so grateful to what Mooresville Children's Theater did for us and our family. All feelings today. I know this is not normal. This is not normal for me being on the radio. It's usually Justin and I cutting up, but it is for me. I brought up the idea, and I didn't want to be like, okay, this is my, this is me as editor-in-chief of Lake Norman Woman. I didn't want to be selfish and pick something that was just close to my heart. But when I brought it up, everyone else on the committee was like, yes. Because we see the good work that you do in the community.
It was so humbling the day that I heard about this. I was actually out of town, and I got this text, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to cry. Like, it's just very humbling. Like, it's something we didn't expect. It's something we don't ask for.
You do a lot with a little.
You do a whole lot with a little, yes. And the people, not just the parents who are involved, but the people in the community see it as well. Because the other people that are on our committee, their children have never been involved in, they may have come to a show, but they haven't been involved in the theater as closely as I have. So
it's just lovely, and we're so gracious. So gracious.
It's just so evident of the great work you guys are doing. And Ferris Parenting being the other one who does great work for the kids in our community too.
And how can people, if they want to support the Children's Theater through this event, how can they do that?
So we need sponsors. So we are still gathering sponsors. If you would like to sponsor the event, lakenormanwoman.com/woman of the year, or just lakenormanwoman.com. Much like Gina, my email and phone number is pasted everywhere. So if you cannot find me through a DM or a social media
I'm just
page,
always surprised how many people have our numbers.
You're not looking hard enough, really. Yeah. So reach out to me, Christine, Gina. We'll put you in contact with somebody.
Yes, looking for great sponsors. Yes. And it doesn't have to be a woman-owned business. No. We obviously encourage women-owned businesses to get involved, but you don't have to be. If you would just like to support any of the organizations that we talked about, Mooresville Community Children's Theater being one of them, we definitely encourage you to get involved.
Yes, absolutely. And it's going to be a fun party too.
That's right.
And the kids are going to be involved. Tease, just so you guys know.
That.
I'm so excited about that.
Great food, great activities.
Dancing.
Oh, there will be dancing.
And then some live theater action too.
Yeah, so it'll just be a fun night overall. But if you would like to get involved and learn more about the theater, you can reach out to Gina Duckworth, Mooresville Community Children's Theater, and that is mooresvillechildrenstheater.org. Gina, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. No, this was great. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we will see everyone next week here on Heart Mooresville on WSIC News. Have a great week, everyone.
And a big shout out to Mamie for co-hosting.
Yes, thank you.